Hi, my name's Byron Martin here at Logie's Greenhouses, and today we're going to be talking about putting together one of our summer collections known as the Guardian Gate. And this is a summer display pot, mixed container as they call them. So we're going to use three plants here. The first one is our Papyrus. This is Cypress Papyrus. This is from the Nile, famous for its vigorous growth and large plumes that form on the top. This is a young plant, so over the summertime this will grow for us into a good-sized plant. It may get up to, probably 4 feet, maybe a little more by the end of the season. So it creates a nice centerpiece for this planting. And what we're going to do is we fill this pot up. This is it's probably about a 14-inch pot. We filled it up with soil, and we're simply going to stick that right down into the center here and push it in so that it's at about, the plant itself is at about soil level. Now these are coming out of flats in the greenhouses, so we've got some floppiness to them. And then we have two other plants that we add to this container. This is Begonia. This is a Begonia Christmas Candy. Also a similar one to this is called Dragon Wings that is found in the trade. And we're going to simply plant these around the edges of the pot, which creates color. As you can see, the flowers are red on that, so we get our red color out of them. This is symmetrically placed out into the around the pot. And then the last thing we're going to use is the Scaevola vine, and this is a trailer. And it's like one of those foolproof plants that once it gets outside, gets its roots in the ground and starts flowering, it just doesn't stop. But there we go, we've got our container planted. Now this plant needs to be watered and then it needs to be fertilized. And in particular, to make this grow, you need to keep feed on it. It's going to be grown in full sun, and it needs a constant application of fertilizer, which can be done with liquid. It could be done with a granular organic like this, where we sprinkle it onto the top of the plant. This here you'd probably put on maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks, and you can go quite heavy with it because the full sun growing of this plant is going to demand quite a bit of feed, and it can tolerate it and actually needs it. The other thing we can use is we can use these slow release pearls. Those can be sprinkled on the top. Generally these are 3 months, so pretty much for the entire season you can use those. And judge it. If this plant starts to get pale in color, you don't have enough fertilizer on it. You want this to be dark green and growing really full and fast to get it to where it will become a specimen early on in the growing season. Generally, as we do with most plants, we allow the surface to dry a little between waterings and thoroughly saturate it so actually water runs out of the bottom of the pot. As it's growing in full sun during the summertime, that's going to be critical because, if you don't water it, put it under severe drought stress, it can actually slow the growth down and even damage the plants, and then the plants don't look full and lush as they should. So pay attention to watering, make sure it gets fertilized, give it full sun, and it's pretty much foolproof. So about 8 weeks ago we planted this, and we are using three things. We're using a Begonia, which is Dragon Wings or Christmas Candy. We're using Scaevola amula, and there are many cultivars of that. This one is the purple one, and we're using the Cypress Papyrus, which is the paper plant of the Nile. And all of these are very fast growing. As I said, this has only been 8 weeks that this has started out from very, very small plants, and you can see how it's filled out. During that period of time, we've kept it well watered, and we've also kept fertilizer on it, and that's important too to make it grow fast. As you can see right now, the cypress is kind of weeping a little bit, some of these older stems, and so what I usually do is I just go in and cut these out so that the trimming actually allows some of the form to reappear in terms of the height of the papyrus. So we've taken that out. As the papyrus grows, it actually will create more strength to it, but the younger plants, as they were growing here, they tend to spread out a bit like that. And you can even take this one out. Got to remember that during the growing season, these stems are going to continue to arise. You can see these new ones coming out, and they grow very fast. So very quickly, this plant will fill in and make a beautiful specimen out of it. I could take out maybe that one leaner there, and then I'd probably leave that because that gives you the top coming out and also exposes some of the flowers that are here at the bottom. And as I said, this is only 8 weeks from planting, so as we go farther through the season, right down to frost or the freezing temperatures, this plant will just keep on flowering and the plant will keep on growing. So thank you for watching. There's a little bit of information on how to grow one of our more spectacular mix containers here at Logis.